Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I know this video is a little late, and I'm sorry about that, but I had a very busy week this past week, so I couldn't really get any time really to record a video. So now this is coming out, well, on a Monday. So I'm sorry about that, but you're still gonna get your video this coming Saturday. So don't worry about that. You kind of get two this week. Be happy about that. Anyway, without going into too much else, we're gonna go right into today's posters. Okay, to start, we have the poster simply called Blobs, and I used a very basic typeface here. It's outlined, so I'm not really gonna go look for that if I'm being honest. But we just have a very grayscale poster here with blobs. This is another thing that I had seen on TikTok, something very similar to this, and I wanted to kind of try it myself using drop shadows. There is a better way to do this that I found out later, but this is another one of those posters where I was able to learn from making this and after having made it. So yet another poster that I'm grateful for having done. Moving into the inspiration, we have this technique that's done with paint, where you kind of just take really heavy like swabs of paint, like if you were using like some caulking or something, and just going real heavy with it. And I'm sure for those of you who have been on TikTok, you might have seen some artists who do something like this. And this being in year one, I didn't see those artists before finding this inspiration piece. So had I seen this now, I might have done something like a little more similar to this. But combining this with the blobs that I saw on TikTok, I thought it might be a better direction for this poster. And I don't regret doing it. But yeah, that's really like just today's poster. Just 5 different blobs, kind of trying to fill out the space of the page, with the biggest negative space being filled in with the blobs to just kind of to make it not feel as it's so empty on that like middle left side. So yeah, that's the first poster. Let's move right into the second. Here's our second poster for today. So we have the poster called Korok. Now I had made this poster while I was still playing Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of took a while to play Tears of the Kingdom just to fully experience the entire game, and I really enjoyed it. But I ended up making this poster out of it, just having a very basic Korok here, sitting down, looking like he's just in the forest waiting to be found on this very open background. We have it actually just saying Korok up here, with the Korok seed representing that first O here, kind of also sitting in between his 2 horns, so it's nicely framed. For the typeface, I actually know this one. This one is going to be one called Buka Bird. That one, I haven't used too much because it's more for like these tropical or even tribal posters. It could also be used for some jazz-like posters, although I haven't used it that much. Because of course, type can make a poster. And here, I think type helped make the poster. So, having all of this come together, let's look at our inspiration image, with it being a cactus poster from Mexico. Now, this is another one where if I had done this today, I might have done something different just to explore a little more detailed poster with all these different elements. But I took this and I thought of plants, and I thought what I was playing at the time, which was obviously Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I came up with the Korok, because I was also Korok hunting at the time, and those guys suck to look for. Anyway, that being the inspiration image, coming onto this, I really liked it, and please just let me know how many Koroks you found in Tears of the Kingdom if you played it, and if not, tell me how many you found in Breath of the Wild, because I know one of my buddies went for 100% Koroks, and it took him a long ass time. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our next poster. So for the last poster of today, if you are familiar with Edgar Allan Poe, this one will hit you right where you learned it in school, really. Let's be honest. But here we have Quoth the Raven Nevermore from his poem, The Raven. And here we have kind of multiple elements thrown together with this crow sitting atop the skull, with a feather pen seemingly coming from the crow being dipped into the ink bottle and then beginning to kind of write the poem. And for those of you who might not know about this poem, The Raven, this is pretty much the poem where Edgar Allan Poe begins to lose his mind, pretty much because of this raven and being isolated within his quarters, and comes face to face with death, being the raven. And as this raven represents death, one of the closing lines of his poem was that he's lying on the floor watching his soul leave his body, and then the raven just is sitting there watching him perish, and it ends with nevermore. Overall, kind of a morbid poem, but it's a cool poem to go and like fully read. One that honestly stuck with me, and probably like a lot of people who probably learned it in like 7th grade. I digress. This is going to be the final poster, and it actually does come from our inspiration being right here. The raven sitting next to that light post. And I didn't want to do something too complicated here, so I decided to just come over here and start this. I didn't outline the typeface perfect. This is called Dark Street, against a kind of parchment background here, being that texture. I almost wanted to add a light here to kind of make the silhouette of the raven, but I decided to use more of a theatrical pose for it, kind of having the raven sit on that right side, flowing down into that bottom left, with the text taking up the top left, just as a way to fill out the poster as it is. So yeah, that is going to be the final poster of today. I hope you enjoyed all 3 of these, and like I've said pretty much every video, if you could please go down below and comment which one was your favorite of today, that would be amazing. And along with that, if you could please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as this is still a new channel and it would help me out greatly. That all being said and wrapped up, please go to my website. You can see all of these posters in their entirety from year 1 through 3. You can also see some of my other work, including some of my new work that will probably be coming out soon. Anyway, that's going to be all from me. I love you guys.